Hi, everybody. I'm doing part three of this exciting church rummage sale find of beads, and I'll just dive on in. This is a big tub labeled black for black, different beads, seed beads, and other beads. And somehow some pink beads got in here as well. So pink and black, classic 50s style, uh, 50s style, 1950s supposedly um, what do you call it? Design aesthetic color combo. Not necessarily all that accurate, but why not? Here we go. Um, and some other beads. Now, more colors. Probably be because focus sesame. Come on, baby. Focus right here. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, camera. Um, Probably because I was doing a mad dash through the rummage sale and thought, oh, okay, I'll just chuck this into this bin as well and call it a day. Um, Wonderful, just little uh, random amounts of things. These are, once it focuses, hexagons. Let's see if you can see the profile. Yeah, six-sided. The sides are smooth but striated so that there are six sides to them. But they don't have that third, they don't cut the corners off of them, so they're not three cuts. What can I say? Nice big Herkin pony, not pony beads, but beads that are bigger than size 6, I believe. These, I believe, are size 6. Just as a warning to everybody who's new to beading, and especially people who like the color pink, these are going to fade. I can almost guarantee that they will. Um, but that's something you have to consider when making purchases and making pieces for other people. And a lot of times people want pink. At the very least, you should tell them ahead of time, this might fade, keep it out of the sunlight. If it's worn against your skin, it can fade, and so on. So just so you know, I mentioned this in the previous video that the color, this type of color is almost, this particular shade of pink is almost impossible to, or apparently impossible to get as a glass color. So in other words, if this color has to be applied to the surface of the glass. So 9 times out of 10, the method that they're using is going to be non-permanent. So any when you're purchasing, any seller needs to be upfront about that. And that way you can be upfront if you're making this for somebody else, whether as a gift or for sale, whichever. Same with this. Oh, this is that really fun fuchsia color, silver lined. In other words, there's a silver lining, and that can tarnish, but that won't fade. But that pink is probably going to fade. I've experienced that myself in real life. This is a nice, wonderful color that I showed you earlier. That will probably not fade. I've never, so far in the last 30 years, I haven't seen this particular color, this nice dark amber color fade. This one, I believe it won't, as I don't have as much experience with it, but it's really a nice color. What can you say? And here we go. Let's see here. These are big Herkin, nice big holes. Some of the smaller seed beads will fit inside those holes. I don't know what size they are, probably 32. They have a funny numbering system that goes from super tiny beads, uh, antique beads that are size, oh, let's say 16 to 24, that are super tiny. I mean, smaller than a grain of salt. up to slightly bigger, size 15, 14, and 13, and 12, which are again an obscure size. The color, the size for which you'll get the greatest color range of color is this size. I believe it's a size 11. You can also get size 10. Just like wire gauges, the smaller the number, the bigger the bead, generally up to a point. Size 8 is bigger than this, size 6 is bigger than that. I showed you this is a size 6 right here. Focus sesame. And come on, baby. Thank you. These are size 6s, much bigger than size 11s. But after I've seen marked size 5 and size 4, and then all of a sudden it jumps to size 32, which is giant. So that's size 30, the number 32 is a much higher size than any of the other numbers that I gave you. But don't let it worry you. Just look at it. Make sure if you're ordering online, see if, they should describe the color, not only the color, but the size as accurately as possible. When I sell on Etsy, I have an Etsy shop and I sell seed beads. What I'll do is I will string up on a needle about 1 inch of beads, and then put that next to some other an inch of beads in other sizes so you can compare. Because one person's size 11 can be small. Even the same manufacturer can have 2 beads in size 11 that are slightly different sizes. So, yep, size matters. What can I say? Let's see about, ooh, I love this one. Here's another variation on this kind of brown color. It's hard to see against the pink Caucasian flesh here of my hand, but it's a little more pinkish than the other one I showed you earlier. You can see just a little bit of difference there. That's a little more yellow. That's a little less yellow. What can I say? And considerations like that do make a huge difference when designing. For one thing, if I was to put this with pink, now it looks a lot more brown, doesn't it? If I was to put it with this brown, it's looking a little less yellow and it's got a little cast to it, just a little cast, a tiny cast of purplish pink, possibly. So colors nudge each other in different ways, depending on how they're paired. And this looks like the same guy. Whoever it was, they liked that color. What can I say? Yeah. Oh, let's get one more pink out here. Oh, okay. These might be glass or plastic. You probably can't hear that, but you'll have to take my word for it. I'm going to do a side-by-side taste test with plastic versus glass. And when it's really good quality, manufacturers can get really good quality plastic, but the best way to tell plastic from glass is to tap 2 pieces of the same type together against each other. It'll sound different. I did this in a previous video, I believe. For example, let's see, these are probably natural stone. They have their own sound too. I hope you can hear that. I'll hold it closer to the pooter. There we go. That is not the sound of plastic. That is the sound of natural materials. These, let's see if I can pop this guy open. Take 2 of these out. Okay, this is interesting. These are either glass or natural stone. Let's see here. No, the part number on there is not the part number of the beads. But I can tell you right now, that sounds like glass to me. I believe we have some plastic beads in here. There they are. Now this, I hope you can hear it again. Hear that? That is plastic. It's hard plastic, but it is plastic. Side by side taste test. Glass, plastic. Now, and with hard plastic, it's not that different, but you can also tell by just literally feeling the glass. Let's see if, let's see what material these are. Sounds like glass to me. The funny thing, I have a funny story about glass, not glass versus plastic, but glass versus natural quartz. Um, this is 20 years ago. There was a sudden fad among I don't know, that was a fad item, a very popular item. That probably glass that was being sold under the name strawberry quartz. Well, strawberry quartz was actually glass. Well, pink, that's going to fade, just so you know. Strawberry quartz was not quartz, even though it was called quartz. And the way you could, the way, fortunately, the way you could easily tell that it was glass and not natural stone, i.e., quartz, was that there were tiny bubbles in the visible in the bead. I mean, they're big beads. So, yeah, natural quartz is not going to have air bubbles in it. It's just not. So, watch. Be careful. Buyer beware. Caveat emptor. Be careful what people tell you. It may or may not be real or true. More color line beads, and if I'm buying color lined beads, not silver or gold lined, but color lined, I am cautious because they have a tendency to fade regardless of even if it's not a pink color. Just so you know. They can be, when you're working with color lined beads, your needle can actually help scrape the color line off of there, the lined color off of there. So something to keep in mind. But again, this is what colors do to each other. Focus sesame. Doesn't need to focus for you to see the difference in color, but I would like it to focus, please. Thank you. Now, let's see. First, look how unpink this looks next to this. Pink, pink, right? Now, let's see. That looks a little more pink. And now it looks more pink. More pink than it did yet. So again, colors influence each other. What can I say? And these are some more of those wonderful hexagonal shaped beads. It's a nice size to work with. It's a nice shape to work with. The beads, focus sesame, thank you. The beads tuck into each other. They behave nicely. Different manufacturers can make them slightly bigger and slightly smaller. Got to work with that. What can I say? But they have a lot of really nice texture and they come in a lot of colors. More of these wonderful, again, it's nice to, one thing is fun to work with is colors that are near each other and they play together well. What can I say? This is something that I found a version, the same bead in another container in the previous episodes. In the previous episode of this unboxing thing. So you'll have to refer to that one, but it's a wonderful Japanese color. And again, much like with these other colors, This can look more blue or more purple depending on, you guessed it, what you put it with. Let's see, maybe I should check it out with this. Ah, this isn't doing too much for it one way or the other, but nice colors, they go together. What can I say? This is yet another, let's see, what's it say? Miyuki 11O. So let's see if this is Miyuki Delicas or Miyuki seed beads, because they make both. Oh, these are Miyuki seed beads. Okay. People love Miyukis. There's a video to which I will link about the difference between Miyuki and Toho seed beads. Those are two Japanese manufacturers, and they're both well regarded. They both make wonderful beads and wonderful colors. And they're similar, but for hardcore seed bead weavers, they can be just different enough for it to matter. So again, if your supplier doesn't know whether they're Miyuki or Toho, and it matters to you, well, you'll have to find a supplier that can tell you whether it's Miyuki or Toho, if it matters. So, ooh, these are connectors. I'm not gonna, oh, see, will they come apart? No, I'll have to bust them open. 25mm connectors. These are, oh, why didn't I just bust it open? Ah, there we go. Anarchy beads. Reckon my own, reckon it, no, I'm not reckoning anything. I'm just opening the package. Oh yeah, these are wonderful. Focus sesame. Thank you. Filigree thingies. So connectors, as you can see, anything with a hole in it is a bead. This has many, many holes. You can connect this top and bottom. You can connect this in all different directions. You could seed bead weave things into it. So that has a lot of fun possibilities. And there are 16 of them in here. And I am really thrilled about that because you can make a splendorific goth thingy with it. So what can I say? Black goes with everything. Love that color. And oh, a little bit of chain. There's chain in the first video of this unboxing thing. Much more chain. That was fun. And these are, okay, these are actually not beads. Whoa, let me get this closer for you, see if you can see it. They do not have holes, so they are not beads. They have flat surfaces on the bottom, and I'm going to show you the sound of plastic. The hills are alive with the sound of plastic. What can I say? Now, it's hard plastic. It's close to, again, I'll share with you the sound of glass versus plastic. And again, it's hard plastic, but it feels like plastic. Plus, it's molded. You can see how it's a little bit concave, and that is probably, I mean, it speaks plastic. It is not the same, it comes out of a mold. It's made with a mold, but it's not the same type of mold that the Czech glass manufacturers would use for this bead, for example. But they're cool. Hey, and cabochons can be glued, so if you don't mind using glue, then you got something you can work with. That I showed you earlier. That's again that non-plastic. We have plastic and we have non-plastic. We have glass. What can I say? That's the sound of plastic on plastic. When in doubt, tap it out. What can I say? What are these? Ooh, these are, I assume gemstone of some sort. Might be an inexpensive type. Thank you, Focus Sesame. They're random shapes and sizes. They're all roughly within the same range of size and shape. And they scream texture. Hooray for texture. You want texture? Put these in with your seed bead things and watch the magic happen. That can be fun. Let's see. Oh, these might be, I'm not sure if they're probably glass. Let's see if I can get this closer to the mic. Um, Sometimes they facet gems, pyrite and hematite and other things. But these are really, frankly, really nicely cut um, faceted beads, and they don't have the vibe of fire polish. I suspect, again, I have no idea where they came from, but I suspect that they might actually be some type of gemstones. But again, who knows? These guys might be, they're black, but they might be howlite. Howlite is a very easy to dye white stone. So hey, you never know. When in doubt, assume that it's cheap and go from there. More chain, hooray for chain. I'm gonna mix these two chains together. Mixolydian though. It's okay to let them live together. I don't necessarily like to keep everything all my beads in totally separate things, containers and such, but to each his own. Everybody has their preferences. Here we go. Classic round, perfectly round beads. And let's test them. Glass. Good show. Nice. Black goes with everything. It's beautiful. It's shiny. What can I say? What's not to like? More. Oh, now these have an interesting. Let's get it close. Let's get it in focus. Thank you. These might be ceramic. I think they're ceramic. They have a similar sound. Now, I'll have you know that although the interior is ceramic, the glaze is something that is very similar to glass. Um, Ingredients for ceramic glaze sometimes are similar to ingredients for glass. So similar material, similar sound when you tap it. More of these classic rounds. Ooh, a couple different sizes. Yay. What do we have here? Oh, little hexagons. Ooh, nice. If you're repairing something that's old, that would be useful. Even if you have a tiny amount of beads like this, that might not seem like much, but that might be all you need to repair that great grandma's purse, that kind of thing. More chains. Yay, chain. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, classic. What can I say? Can't go wrong. Black metal chain. And what is in here? Oh, okay. I've got a metal button and two metal connectors. Ah, in a tiny little container. I think I'm going to give some, I think I might actually let these beads, oh, more of this one. I love this color. This is the one that I was contrasting with that. Love both of those colors. I might actually mix up some of these beads into bead soup and give these containers away. There's this wonderful place called the Free Store in not too far from where I live. And these are size 6 seed beads. That was classic. That was very useful. And the Free Store has things that do not cost anything. You can give things to the free store and you can take whatever you want out of the free store. It's really a fun place. Now these, okay. This is another criteria. Focus sesame, thank you, for determining whether something is glass versus stone. These are actually cold. So they're more likely, may or may not be, I'm not going to say anything definitively, but they're more likely to be stone because they're cold. Huh. Hard to say what the sound is because it's the pieces are so small. But I guess I could, well, let's see, I know. But if you go like this, you're hearing the beads sound against the plastics. So what if I just go like this? I still can't tell. Okay. Well, there is one indicator, the hardness and the coolness of the literal temperature of the beads, that they hold the cold better than other materials, especially plastic and glass, especially plastic glass. Oh, and more classic. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, we've got, okay, focus sesame. We've got these great little swirls of gold color, little like almost like Jackson Pollock uh, paint drips on them. So that is fun. And they're probably glass. What can I say? Let's try them out. Yeah, I'd say they're glass. I'm willing to bet they're glass anyway. Well, hey, that was fun. I emptied out the tray. I found about a bunch of cool stuff. Some I'm going to give away to the free store, some I'm going to keep. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you can, if you do, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Uh, the usual things that they say when we are um, when we do videos on YouTube. Um, so yeah, this is just, one of these days I'll uh, have less fuzzy recordings and nicer fingernails or whatever. But in the meantime, I'll just come up with new ideas and things to share and techniques and such to share as well with you. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you later.